The show is a real retrospective show, starting with the very early works by Giacometti, who was an artist as a young boy. Still as a young boy, his father was a painter, and so he has seen artworks from the very early period of his life. Of course, like most of these kind of artists, he started with portraits of his family, so we show a selection of these portraits of his brothers and his sister. The show is developing all the career of the artist, developing a view on the different periods. Giacometti started to learn about sculpture in France, where he came in the beginning of the 20s, and we show works from that period, early period, Cubist work, pre-surrealist works, and then the surrealist period. He became famous from one day to another. He made these very spatial objects that made Salvador Dali and André Breton completely fascinated and introduced them to his work and introduced him to the surrealist group. But after a few years of that surrealist period, he decided to change completely his style, and he started to work again with a model, started to work again with clay, and trying to make portraits of these models that were his brother Diego, and then after the war his wife Annette. And so the show is a really comprehensive survey on all that period that started in the late 30s to end with his own death. And so we have worked from the very early period to the very late period, as we have the last work of the exhibition is the last work that Giacometti has done before dying. I think what we wanted to show to the Turkish public is a very comprehensive show of Giacometti. It is the first big show dedicated to the artist, so it was really important to introduce all the periods and all diversity of the work of the artist. Giacometti made also a lot of prints, and we show that in the exhibition with the famous series that he did about Paris, called Paris Without End, and this shows us all his environment, because he was making sketches of Paris, of his neighborhood, but also of his friends and of his wife Annette, by example, or his mistress Caroline. So it's all the life of Giacometti that is drawn through these prints, which are been very, very important for him, because they are prints that he made in several years. I like very much the big woman. First, it was complicated to bring it here, and we were very happy that it was possible, because it's the highest sculpture Giacometti has ever done, and it's very fragile. And I like it very much because it's both a real woman, and of course it's completely hieratical, and it reminds Byzantine art, and so it's a mixture of contemporary vision by the artist of what a woman was, and with the memory of the history of art. And I think that this is something very interesting in Giacometti, that he made the link between past time and the present. And I think that's why Giacometti is not only a modern artist, but is still a contemporary artist.